Live from DevOps Days, Austin. I'm here with Christian Beedgen. How are you, Christian?
I'm great, actually. Just get done with our talk together with my buddy Stefan, and I'm always a little bit anxious before getting up on stage, and so now I'm in, like, I have that sort of post-talk glow going on.
Awesome. I thought you looked extra shiny.
Yeah.
So we first met here in Austin, although you're based out of the Bay Area, a couple of years ago. Talked about SumoLogic. So for folks who aren't familiar with it, what is SumoLogic at a high level?
So SumoLogic is essentially a log management, an analytics service. So we can take in your application logs, your network logs, your server logs, up and down the stack, put it into our system, make it available for troubleshooting, application monitoring, security and compliance, customer insight, all of these things that you can get out of logs.
And how would you be different than, say, a Loggly or a Splunk? Are they different purposes, or there big overlap? Or
well, I mean, we're obviously all in the same space. The difference to Splunk in particular is that we're cloud native essentially. So we started from the very beginning with the idea of building this as a service rather than as enterprise software, and we think we can build a better product that way. We can make it easier for people to consume the product and so forth. And we also do a lot of stuff that the other guys aren't doing around. Trying to be smart about what we can do with the data that's actually flowing through the system. Analyze the data, do machine learning. Try to find correlations that inevitably are in the data. That as a human, if you're sending us a terabyte of data per day, there's simply no way you would be able to detect that stuff. And so we do a lot of the legwork. Provide some pretty cool evidence on anomalies and so forth, put them in front of you so you can manage them and learn something, and probably learn some new questions that you didn't know how to ask. So I would say that's sort of the main difference.
Okay, and so when you think of the SumoLogic ecosystem, what bits do you all do versus what other packages you might want to integrate with that people use together to get the most out of what SumoLogic provides?
Okay, so a couple of things there in terms of integration. So we actually internally use PagerDuty, because we need to run a system as well, and so we have this DevOps thing going on in our own company. But a lot of our customers are integrating with PagerDuty. That's a very common thing. We like them a lot, and so do our customers. We have a bunch of folks who have helped us, build Chef and Puppet recipes and scripts to automate the deployment of our collectors. We have sort of this collector software that helps in managing the data collection and then sending it over to us. Ultimately, we just, so this is a little bit more on the enterprise side now, but we integrate with ServiceNow as well, which is something that a lot of people are using. They're very successful doing basically ITSM. And, we can now create new events in ServiceNow, and there's sort of some round-tripping capability there. So that's a couple of things off the top of my head that I can think of. Otherwise, we logs are just basically textual data, right? And it doesn't really matter what kind of stack you have. You can bring that data in, and we can do something useful with it. More and more so, we have applications out of the box that build some sort of domain knowledge for particular stacks right into the product. And so it's mostly around IT. I think the underlying platform could be used for even more stuff, Internet of Things, all that. I'm really excited about it, but that's not really our core focus right now.
And then just to end with, what do you see for the next year? What are some things we can expect to see from SumoLogic that you can talk about?
So we just released the first version of our anomaly detection in production. We went through a fairly long beta cycle with that to get a lot of feedback from customers. So we have a full plate of stuff to do there to come out with the second version. Other than that, we have a lot of work to do. Obviously, on keeping the system to scale. I mean, we're growing at a very fast rate. And so the other thing that I would say we are going to tackle is really sort of, the way that you kind of interact with the data. It's all search-based, but you still have to kind of write queries. We want to do more around, making it more interactive, letting people kind of, play with the data, create aggregations on the fly, those kinds of things. Because ultimately, it's all about getting some value out of it, and the individual log doesn't matter. So you want to aggregate that, and more anomaly detection, more machine learning stuff to help people, basically get ahead of the curve.
Excellent. Christian Beedgen, thank you so much.
Thanks.